we want to get now the foreign tech company's perspective on doing business in China. We bring in the CEO of one of India's top IT outsourcing firms, Infosys, Gopalakrishnan. Thank you very much for your time today. In 2008, you were on record as saying, doing business in China can be tough. Has it improved at all in the last couple of years?
Our experience has been very positive. We have grown to 2,600 people. We have 2 centers now, one in Shanghai, another in Hangzhou. And our experience has been very positive. We use this center for supporting our global clients. We provide the global clients who are coming into China support in China as well as for their global requirements.
We've heard from a number of European CEOs, not necessarily in tech, but in all sectors, and we even heard Premier Wen Jiabao address it on Monday. Concerns by foreign companies doing business in China that there's protective barriers, there's concerns and opaqueness about indigenous innovation in China. What have you been facing as far as the barriers to entry in China and getting the boardrooms to spend more on foreign products such as and services such as yours?
Our business with Chinese companies have been very slow to pick up. We believe that is because of the lack of awareness of the brand of Infosys in China. So we will have to spend a lot more time building their trust, creating that awareness before I think we can work with Chinese companies. We have few Chinese clients, but it's very, very slow.
Why is this?
I believe it's because of the lack of awareness, I think, and maybe a reluctance to work with different business models. The business models are very different. For example, most of the Chinese companies today buy hardware and they expect actually the services, etc., to come along with that. So they work with just one supplier. Whereas when they work with Infosys, they primarily are looking at us for services, and that also restricted to application development, maintenance, consulting, etc. Maybe that's another reason why, because they're not used to buying discrete services.
What is the overall climate globally for IT spending? Are we seeing a pickup in Europe, in the United States, or is it still last year levels or before?
If you look at the results from the last 3 quarters for IT services companies, especially from India, results have been very positive. We have had 3 quarters of almost 5% sequential growth. So the Indian IT services companies are doing well in this environment. We expect that to continue, though medium to long term there are some uncertainties. Europe is slow. So the growth has primarily come from US.
Are customers still trying to renegotiate prices? Are you offering still price cuts on some of your contracts as you were doing in the first quarter, or is business picking up to the point where you can have price stability now?
We have price stability. There is no pricing power, but definitely there is price stability. I think companies are used to this environment. They understand that they need to invest now for the future, for increasing their revenues, for innovating out of this downturn, moving into emerging markets. We are seeing significant spend from companies for creating products and services to enter Asia. And that is actually a strong driver for spending.
What are the majority of your business right now as far as new orders? Are you getting the big ones? Are you having some big contracts on the horizon? Or is it still, again, renegotiating existing contracts, steady as she goes? Or do you see big deals on the horizon?
There are new deals, but these deals are not long-term deals. Because of the medium to long-term uncertainty, the deals are actually structured like a quarter at a time or at most 6 months at a time. They're cutting the large contracts into smaller contracts and willing to commit only for the short term.
And that was one of your concerns about the China market as well. Very few companies here are willing to commit long term. What is short term in terms of the Chinese? Is that a quarter by quarter basis?
Yeah, quarter to maybe 2 quarters, typically. Again, the projects are small. They would like to try something out and then take a decision.
How about acquisitions? I believe you told the Business Standard last year that you were looking at maybe some acquisitions in Europe in the $450 million range. Do you have anything on the horizon? Is this still something the M&A activity still on your plans?
We're still looking at it, but in our case, we are very clear that we want to be cautious in acquisitions. It is very difficult to integrate people. Culture is a big challenge. So we're very cautious about acquisition, though we have a team dedicated looking at it.
Chris Gopalakrishnan, CEO of Infosys, thank you very much for your time on Bloomberg Television.